drunk naked guy, you so crazy. Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? A man who was drunk and naked was going to people's houses door to door and ringing on their doorbells. Now, the first rational explanation that I came up with for why someone would do this is that maybe this guy is just sick of the dating game. You know, he's been to the bar so many times and been shut down by so many girls that now he's just saying, fuck it. I'm just gonna go door to door, show them my dick, and if they like it, good. If they don't, I'll go to the next door. And this might have worked too, but someone called the cops on him. But if the cops didn't show up, I bet eventually he would have knocked on a door and got some desperate old lady, and she would have had sex with him. His plan was this close to working. But it didn't work, because the cops showed up, and when the cops got there, they saw him going into a truck, and then they tried to pull him over in the truck, but instead of pulling over, he just led them on a high-speed chase. And then eventually he stopped at a house and he led them on a foot chase, which I don't really get because if you couldn't outrun him in your truck, how are you gonna outrun him on your feet? And then after they chased him on foot for a bit, he went up to a house and he kicked down the door and broke into the house. And I thought maybe he was breaking into the house to hide somewhere in the house, but he didn't hide in the house, he just went straight out the back door and hid behind a tree and some shrubs. See, what I don't get though is when he broke into the house, why didn't he just change into some clothes? These cops are looking for a fully naked guy. If he just changed into some clothes real quick, he could probably pretend he owns that house. They have this mental image of your ass cheeks. If you show up clothed, you could just be like, he ran that way. So after they cornered this naked man, they tried to taser him with the taser gun, but it didn't work. And I don't get that, because if you aimed it well enough, I know you could have taken down any guy. All you had to do was shoot him in the nuts. You shoot a guy in the nuts with a taser gun, he's gonna go down. Unless he's one of those creepy, kinky sex freaks that likes when their nuts are electrocuted and sick shit like that. Actually, you know, there's a good chance he was one of those sex freaks. So after that didn't work, they shot 2 beanbags at him and that took him down, and then they arrested him. But you know what I noticed? Everything that these cops were trying to take this guy down with were long-range things. Which makes sense, because who wants to tackle a naked guy? But you know, when all these other cops were like, oh no, fuck that, I'm not touching that naked guy, do you think there was one cop that was just like, don't worry boys, this one's mine. Ooh, yeah. Oh, don't struggle, I might get a stiffy. So after this was all done and the man was arrested, he was charged for a long list of charges. The charges were suspicion on driving under the influence, evading a peace officer, driving with a suspended license, indecent exposure, entering a house without permission, vandalism, and resisting arrest. And to think, all this guy really wanted to do was go door to door showing his dick to strangers. It's a shame. See, the whole problem here was the man was drunk. If he had been smoking weed, none of this would have happened. You see, if he was smoking weed, he would have come up with the idea to go out, get naked, and call on some people. But when it came down to actually doing it, he would have just stayed home and kept playing video games. And maybe later he'd masturbate.